The Report Women Female Reportership Program is about ensuring that we have as many female leaders as we have male in the newsrooms across Nigeria. We did a survey in the past where we saw that most newsrooms actually have over 70%, sometimes up to 90%, sometimes 100% male representation in their management. We are working hard to change that narrative, and we are intentional about it.
Coming to this fellowship, the Women Reporters Fellowship for Journalists, I think it's such a great opportunity. There's nothing as powerful as a voice. And if you're a voice for your own gender, you're the only person who can articulate exactly what your issues are. Because we are women, we know what the issues are, the problems are, the challenges, the obstacles, and the aspirations we have. So I'm looking forward to all of the tools, the network, the skills development, and much more that the fellowship is going to offer.
When I saw it, I was excited. I felt it was something that I needed, and I felt that there are lots of younger female reporters coming to my organizations lately. So I figured that if I have to help them, if there's any kind of assistance I can give them, this kind of program is going to help. And a lot of them look up to me because they're like, okay, she's a deputy editor, you know, she can help us. Do you understand? So I just thought, okay, this kind of program will be good.
I expect a lot from this training. I want to learn to be more confident when it comes to reporting women. I want to learn how to report issues around women, how to push for more policies to favor women, and then replicate whatever knowledge I have into my other colleagues in office as well, so that they will be able to demand for more leadership positions within our organization as well.
I'm looking forward to improving my skills, so to say, in my daily reportage, not just exclusive and all that, in the sense that I get to do news and stories for and about women. I'll get to have a gender balanced stories, you know, like getting contact and not just thinking of the men alone, trying to empower the women so they're heard. And then, who knows, maybe paving a way for leadership in higher positions in the newsroom.
I hope to meet a lot of people. It's like being cut off from the world. Coming from Kaduna, I was Lagos-based. Now I'm in Kaduna, and I hope to meet a lot of people, fellow professionals, and I hope to learn. I'm looking forward to a whole new learning process.
I'm here, you know, to network with other colleagues and, you know, learn from them and get empowered, such that, you know, by the time you go out there tomorrow, you can stand on your own and even mentor others as they come along.
If you look at it in Nigeria, the newsrooms, organizations, like there is a form of gender marginalization to an extent, and it's about that time where we put our voice as one and step it out to the public. It's just amazing. I am looking forward to evolve in all ramifications. I am looking forward to be the best version of myself after this program. I am super excited to be here, and I can't wait for the event to start proper.
I believe that nobody should be stagnant in their career. So if you need to move to the next level, then you need new knowledge, new exposition. And I believe that's what I'm going to get, you know, during this program. And by God's grace, I will implement it because I'm going to the top.
When we first conceived of this idea, it was back in 2010. And I had said we need leadership programs for female persons. And we wrote the proposal down, but no one was willing to sponsor it. Then, fast forward to 2016, Free Press Unlimited came on board and they showed interest. That enough was exciting for me. 2 years down the line, you look at how the lives of the 34 fellows who have been directly involved in the program has changed. How they now walk into their newsrooms not as the regular people that their colleagues knew, but as authorities authorities not just on gender issues, but on leadership, because they are taking up assignments, they are initiating things, they are having to negotiate with management, they are having to go to people they would not have spoken to and actually help them to do other things. So for me, the feeling is more than excitement, it's great fulfillment. Great fulfillment to know that we can actually change what we want to change. We can change our world if we're intentional about it. We can change our world if we understand that we cannot do it alone, that we need to gather people together and infuse in them that energy to go out and make the changes that we want to see.
If indeed you're a broadcaster, I do not think it is ethical for you to, it is okay for you to have your personal opinion. That is why your personal opinions must never factor into your report. Because once your personal opinion factors into your report, then you're biased. You're biased, then you're no longer credible. Yes. Because it means that you will see things only from that perspective and be jaded by what everybody else sees. No. If I'm talking about, if you're going to report something that is probably controversial, something that is happening that nobody once heard, and then you have a series, some are more incriminating and some are more damaging than the other, what do you do? Being a journalist is important for you to know that you can be it all without losing a beat. But you need to focus, because I did radio for 2 years, then I joined television and spent my entire life there. That's where I'm known. Then I'm a columnist, I'm an author of 2 books. So being a journalist is actually the resource tool you need for being hydra-headed in several other areas and being very good at all of them. Because your training as a journalist is expected to provide you that impetus to push wherever you are, whatever you choose to do.
Fourth day, final day, it has exceeded every bit of my expectations. Like, I have learned to, have values as a journalist. You don't just go with the wind now. You should be able to stand for something. I have learned to, grow myself in knowledge.
Sincerely, it has been an eye-opener. It has taught me to focus, to redefine, and to look at some of the things I've always wanted to do, but I didn't know how to go about it. As a leader in my field and being a female, it's not been easy, especially where you don't have a lot of people to look up to. This program has taught me a lot that I'm going back home to implement in my newsroom, and it has made me a better leader. I used to think that I'm a leader. Of course I'm a leader, but now I've become a better, and as the word is used there, an intentional leader. And networking with a lot of ladies, beautiful ladies, in depth on journalism and its practices from various media houses in Nigeria here has been an amazing one. And the lessons I've learned from here, I must say, is life transforming, and I am glad and happy that I made it to this program.
We live in a special climate where women journalists have different challenges. I was so excited that we weren't put in the box and expected to function as if we weren't having those challenges. So we had sessions on confidence, on work-family effectiveness, I realized that I must find that particular glass ball that holds up every other thing, and it must not drop. And Mrs. Eugenia Abu just turned it all over. I mean, her life experiences, everyone can learn from that. It's been fantastic, and I feel really excited being a fellow and participating in this leadership program.
It was a really refreshing experience to be among my fellow female reporters and to learn the similar challenges that we all face, while on the job, and how to cope with them, how to be security conscious, in a profession that is male dominated. And I must tell you that I was really, really inspired, being among so many of my colleagues, female colleagues, and with the quality of the facilitators.
It's been more than what I thought I would get from here. I mean, I came here thinking, oh, probably let me just learn the usual, but it has exceeded my expectation. I've learned not just to be a journalist, but also to take my writing and put more work in it in such a way that I become an authority in what I do.
The things I suspected that I knew before, I needed to take them seriously. Like I needed to audit my career, audit my knowledge base. These are things that I suspected I needed to do, but I didn't take them seriously. So I think that what this fellowship has done for me is to make me a more serious-minded journalist.
We've had a lot of challenges of women thinking that since they're married, they can't get to that point in their life that they could manage their marriage and their career. So it's about being intentional about female leadership, like being intentional about being who you want to be, go extra mile in your career. So I feel it's really a great time.
I've learned that as a leader, I have to work to achieve it, that being a leader is a behavior, is an attitude, not just a position. So I have to deliberately put on those qualities that will make me a leader. So I have to work to attain being a leader, not just occupying a position. That's one of the fantastic things I've also learned.
The program is very intense. It is mind-blowing. It is eye-opening, and there are a lot of issues relating to gender that is being swept under the carpet, and that we don't realize that we are sweeping them under the carpet. Consciously or unconsciously we do them. So I realized that even not mainstreaming gender in my reports is also a kind of unconscious contribution to the problem of gender in our society. And there was also a place of me coming to realize that there are multiple ways of actually advocating for issues relating to women, regardless of whatever I cover.
So far, I've been more equipped on what to do as a broadcast person. For example, I cover education, I cover labor, I have more interaction with men. Not like there are not women there, they might be few, but right now with the gender lens that I have, I know that for every story that I do, I just don't look at it the way it is. I have to be more gender sensitive to ensure that it's an all-inclusive report, both male and female. Thereby we have a true picture of what the issue is and definitely find a solution to whatever challenge or societal challenge that we're facing, or I'm saying.
I was thinking about the stories I've written in the past couple of years before I came for this training. I've always wanted to capture women, but I didn't think to look at them as the heroes in their stories. But I learned that now. So if you're telling a story, you have to be deliberate about how you think about the story, the impact the story will have, not only on the audience, but the subjects of the story. So I learned that. Then I learned something about being intentional. You've always wanted to do something, but if you do not take the deliberate, intentional step towards it, it becomes a wish.
I have learned a lot, including what is gender streaming, and why it's important for us to have more gender-sensitive reports in our news. I've also learned that it's important to have integrity, because as a leader, you won't be able to go very far, or you won't be a successful leader if you don't have that virtue. I've also learned that it's possible for me to be a successful entrepreneur. This training has also provided me with great resources, great materials, and has expanded my network because of the eminent resource people that were here, in addition to the other journalists that came for the workshop. I want to thank the organizers immensely for organizing such a great event, and I can't wait to go out and share what I have learned here.